You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome. Today we're looking into some really interesting updates in the world of data and AI. We'll be covering things like the latest from DuckDB, some neat ideas for managing data lakes more simply with Iceberg, and some pretty amazing stuff happening in real-time systems.
Yeah, and it's not just tech specs, right? It's about seeing how big players are solving tough problems. There are definitely lessons here for anyone building or using data systems today.
Okay, so let's start with DuckDB 1.3 Toyo Ossivalis. What stood out? Well, they've got this new remote file cache. That seems pretty useful for cloud data access, speeding up repeated queries.
Definitely. And they've also added Python-style lambda syntax, makes the SQL, a bit cleaner. Plus, direct CLI querying for external files, that's handy.
Oh, and the using key clause for recursive CTEs. That sounds like a performance win for certain kinds of complex queries, doesn't it?
It really does. Helps with those iterative graph-like problems directly in SQL. And, this DuckDB progress, it sort of fits into a larger theme we're seeing, simplification.
Oh, so
Well, take the boring Iceberg catalog. It's basically a serverless Apache Iceberg catalog in a single JSON file. Super simple concept, uses basic S3 features like conditional writes, works with DuckDB. It just shows how you can simplify a catalog setup.
right, stripping away complexity.
Exactly. And that ties into why open table formats like Iceberg, Delta Lake, Hootie are becoming so important. They bring things like AC transactions, easy schema changes, time travel, basically making data lakes much easier to manage reliably.
Okay, so how does this play out in practice, like with existing systems?
Well, we saw a really practical example, migrating old PostgreSQL partitions over to Apache Iceberg. Keep your recent data super fast in Postgres, archive the history cheaply and accessibly in Iceberg.
Ah, so it's about smart tiering, essentially.
Pretty much, and it really underlines why thinking about the why behind your architecture is key, moving from just storage to scalable solutions using these open formats.
Makes sense. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. What about scaling up, especially AI and real-time stuff?
Yeah, some fascinating stories there. Instagram, for instance, they've scaled their recommendation system to over 1,000 ML models.
1,000. Wow. How do they even manage that?
Their focus was on portable model health definitions and generic alerting, sort of standardizing how they track performance. But it raises a big question, right? How do you balance improving those metrics versus the sheer cost of running all that?
A constant trade-off at that scale, I bet. And then there was Flipkart, getting real-time delivery date estimates down to 100 milliseconds on their main pages. That's incredibly fast.
It is. They did it by decoupling some of their data stores, source and vendor capacity, and using some clever caching. They even used bit-encoded integers to shrink the data size, reduced it by 90%.
90%, that's a serious optimization.
Absolutely. And this drive for performance, you see it in databases too. AlloyDB AI now integrates Google's scan index, which apparently boosts vector similarity search speed by up to 3x. We're talking sub-millisecond lookups for hybrid queries, crucial for AI apps.
Right, for things like recommendation engines or semantic search.
Exactly. And look at LinkedIn with their JUDE platform. They're using large language models for job recommendations, processing trillions of events daily, GPU-accelerated inference for huge 7 billion parameter models, all for low-latency job matching.
The scale is just mind-boggling. So, moving away from the giants for a second, what about tools for maybe the rest of us
Yeah.
and the people involved?
Yeah, there was a useful guide on building a local data platform with Terraform and Docker. Basically lets you mimic cloud services like S3 and Redshift locally at no cost. Great for learning and experimenting.
That sounds super helpful for developers.
Yeah.
What about MindsDB?
Right, MindsDB, an open source platform that aims to pull answers from data scattered everywhere. It can even handle natural language queries, which is pretty neat, trying to make data access more intuitive.
Okay, and bringing it back to the human element.
There's a good piece on the role of the data architect in enabling AI. It stressed how vital they are in connecting the data strategy, the governance, the domain knowledge, connecting all that to actual business needs.
So, making sure AI isn't just tech for tech's sake.
Exactly. Ensuring it delivers real, measurable value. And finally, just touching on a broader point, the Irish Data Protection Commission gave Meta the go-ahead to use European user data for AI training.
Ah, right. That's been a point of discussion.
Yeah, it's happening despite some ongoing legal challenges. It essentially allows Meta to use a lot more regional data to improve their AI models faster. We're just reporting that development here.
Okay, got it. So quite a range today from core database tech and simpler data management, all the way to massive real-time AI scale and the people strategy behind it all.
Yeah, the pace is just incredible. What really stands out is how all these innovations, databases, real-time systems, AI, they're all pushing the limits of what data can do. It leaves you with a thought, doesn't it? How is this acceleration in data and AI going to change how you tackle problems and innovate in the next few years?
Definitely something to reflect on. Thanks for joining us for this look at recent developments. Hope you found it insightful.
You've been listening to The Vocal Technologist. Tune in next time.